Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing If I Could Only Pick 10 Eyeshadow Palettes challenge. This was not an easy video. Actually, I've been teasing you guys about this video for like quite a while now. It's taken me weeks, like 4 weeks to put this video together because I have been going through my palettes in quarantine. So I've really been focusing on shopping my stash, going through... Someone texting me? How dare you? So I've been going through my old palettes, shopping my stash, really trying to focus on the makeup that I have rather than new stuff. And I've really been rediscovering some gems. I will say that I haven't been able to dip into every single one of these palettes, but I have played with a few of them, and the others are on my list of like to try while in quarantine. And I'm going to be doing a video of all the palettes I tried in quarantine. I'm going to rank these, but I decided not to because I haven't really revisited them all. Most of them were chosen based on, one, a knowledge of the fact that I know I love the palette, and two, color stories. If I could only pick 10 eyeshadow palettes, I need to have every single possibility I could have, right? Like every color story. There's a lot of neutrals in here, but there's also some fun palettes as well. I went with any palette over 9 pans. So anything under 9 pans was not considered in this video because those are smaller palettes, and I wanted to really focus on the bigger palettes for this video. So we got a lot to get through. I'm going to stop talking to go and then talk. Why do I always say that? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to get into the video. If you guys want to see my pick for the only 10 palettes I would keep if I had to go to a desert island and I could only keep 10, then keep on watching. Alright, so yeah. If I could only keep 10. I mean, I guess 10 is pretty generous. It's a pretty generous number. I have a lot more than that in my collection, which is why this video took so long to record, or took so long to put together, because I really thought long and hard about this. I'm actually going to organize things between color stories, I think. Oh gosh, I picked a lot of neutral palettes. It's okay. It's fine. I think I have everything I need here. Alright, so I feel like the best place to start is with the neutrals. Yeah? And I'm not going to list these in order of like my first pick would be, although number 1 is kind of my first pick, but that's just coincidence. The rest of them, it's just like a random order. I'm not ranking them because, like I said, I haven't dove into all of them thoroughly yet during this quarantine. I haven't revisited and reminded myself. So I don't want to rank. We're just picking. But I will tell you that if I was going to a desert island and I had to make a mad dash for my palettes, the very first one I would dash to is the Naked Reloaded. This is the first palette I would grab. I am almost at pan on this shade, and it's called Angel Fire, and it makes me sad because what am I going to do when I hit pan on like my favorite shadow in this palette? It's going to be a crisis. Anyway, I love this palette. This is my go-to neutral palette for date nights. For any time I want to look glam in my real life, like not on YouTube. If I want to do like a glam neutral look, I'm 99.9% of the time I'm reaching for this, especially if I'm in a hurry, because these shadows blend out like this. I can get a glam AF look together with a quickness with these shadows. Because I can be sloppy with it and they still look blended. So this is one of my favorite palettes. And it's funny because when this first came out, I was like, it's good. It's a good palette. But like now I'm obsessed with it, and I'm like, I can't live without this palette. Like it's everything. It's weird that there's orchids on it. I don't know what the symbolism for that is, but anyway. Urban Decay, and P.S. there's like a few Urban Decay palettes in here, but these are picked out of what I have, what I own, what I have not decluttered, what I have in my collection. So there's things that I don't own, so that's why they wouldn't be in this thing. So like, if you're like, hey, what about the Natasha Denona blank palette? Well, I obviously don't have it, or it might be in this lineup, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about quick is the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1. The reason that I picked this, because really, there are a lot of similarities, similar but different, really. But the reason I picked this is because of the textures. So this gives me everything I could need, in that it has pressed glitters, it has metallics, it's got the sequin shades, and it's got mattes. So if I'm looking for something with a particular finish, I can find it in here. And so especially like these glitters are really good and they don't fall out. So I went with this. It has a really great black in it. And yeah, and I love that it has the burgundy shades in there too. I could just do a lot of looks with this, and it's a great addition. Even though I have this, they're still very different, because like the Urban Decay one has some cool tone shades over here, and the warm peachy shade is more coral than the one in here. There's a lot of variation, I feel, in this palette. This one is very specific, but again, it has all the textures, so I thought it was complementary. And then another neutral palette that I decided to go with is the Desert Oasis from BH Cosmetics. I picked this one because there's a couple of additional shades like the blue, and these shimmers are on another level. They are so buttery and creamy and beautiful. And there's a lot of different tones of shimmer. They have this, where is it? This duochrome, like it's kind of a green brown. And then there's this one here that's sort of like a teal, gray, blue. Then you've got this blue, this copper. You've just got a lot of different shadows in here. And literally the shimmers in here are not to even be believed. Like they're just, like look at this one. Like they gleam. And it's such an affordable palette, so I just felt like whatever I might not have in the other palettes, I definitely have here, and these shimmers are like really, they really pack a punch. So yeah, I love that one. This next one is a neutral but specific, and that is the BH Cosmetics Hangin' in Hawaii palette. This one is a very soft, warm palette, but it has a lot of these warm, fun variations on like a peachy, coppery vibe. There's like a pink in here too, and then these shimmers are also like not to be believed. Like this one here, I like pineapple. Pineapple is one of my faves. I'm running out of spots. Look at that. It's so good. Like pineapple is one of the best shades in this palette. But anyways, this is great for just like everyday soft glam. And it has a few shades. The other palettes don't have these like more pinkier toned shades. And then there is this cranberry. That is kind of something we have in the other palettes. But these shimmers, I love this palette. I love it. And then I have two more pretty dedicated neutral palettes. So this is number 4 on the list. No, this is number 5 on the list. And that is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. So this one has some more purple tones in it, where the other ones are more neutral, and then some have a few pinks in them. This one has that beautiful lavender, lilac, whatever color you want to call it. It's called Amethyst in the palette. But this is a very warm palette. There are a few repeat colors in here in the other palettes, but there's also some unique colors in here too. I love this palette, so I don't know. I just feel like I could do a lot of different stuff in it, and it does have a glitter in it too, right here. I don't know, I love this palette, so I just thought, and I haven't revisited this in quarantine, by the way, but I just feel like when this came out, it was on top of its game. I need to revisit it and just remind myself about my thoughts on it, but yeah, I just feel like if I'm going on color selection, and I remember I loved the palette, so it's not a matter of that, but for color selection, like, I definitely wanted to have these warmer shades in there as well. And then number 6, this is an oldie. This is the BH Gilded palette. This is like a Naked Honey vibe, you know what I mean? But I decided to go with this over Naked Honey because, honestly, this shade right here, this delicious, I don't even know, it's like a brown with burgundy undertones. It's so gorgeous. I love this color. But this palette is just, it's so good. It's so different than the others, but it's still very neutral. But you do have some pinks over here, some light pinks. You've got a light peach in here too. We all already have that in other palettes, yes, but these golds and stuff, like, I don't know, I just love this palette. I don't know why I don't use this palette. It's been sitting in my drawer, I never use it, but I was like, well, yeah, of course. And then I was trying to decide, like, okay, but like Naked Honey or this one? And I ended up going with this one because like I said, this color here is what was this one. It's just so good. We got 4 more. All right. So now we're going to get into color. So I only picked 4 color palettes because I don't wear a ton of color, like a ton, you know? But, you know, when a girl wants color, a girl wants color. So I made sure to make selections that would give me pretty much the rainbow, and I could do whatever I wanted. So the first one of the colors, this is palette number 7, is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. So this one has neutrals in it, but it also has color in it. Some of these are repeat colors, like this section here. Yes, I have in the other palettes. But again, I have a black, there's purple, there's these greens and blues, and some more neutrals. I love this palette. I think there is so much you could do with this palette. And, you know, I was thinking, like, if I'm on a fucking desert island, I'm gonna hit pan on these types of shades and some of the other palettes. So, you know, backups. But I love this palette, and I just thought this is a good palette to add some color in, but it also has your neutrals. So if you're just working out of this one palette, like, you know, you can do a lot. So that's the first color one, another Urban Decay. How many Urban Decays is that so far? Oh, okay, only 2, right? Yeah. We got 2 Urban Decays, 2 BH Cosmetics. All right, so palette number 8, I went with the BH Weekend Festival palette. So there's the Weekend Festival, and then there was the Color Festival. But I chose to go with the Weekend Festival because this shade right here, another delicious, I don't know, I love this shade. It's like a pinky brown. I have no more space left. Let's go right here. I don't know, I love that color so much. I keep putting this face down on my pants. Why, I don't know. This color is full of neon beautifulness. There's the neon pinks, purples, blues, teals. Oh, there's just so much color in here. There's the yellow, there's a lime green color. And you have a couple of neutrals in here, but mostly it's just a color explosion. And I just feel like if you're feeling fun and, you know, festive, this is a good palette to have on hand. Another color palette that I picked, I guess this is number, what are we on now? Number 9. Is this one also from BH Cosmetics. So how many BH palettes are we up to now? 4 BH palettes. I have a lot of BH palettes in my collection, so I mean, that's why there's a lot of BH palettes in here. Plus they're affordable, so I mean, bonus. Okay, this Ultimate Matte palette I picked because what else do you need? I mean, there's so much color in here. You've got navy. Again, you've got some more repeats here. You've got purples and pinks, but like different tones. You've got different tones of yellow in here, grays, neutrals, but different types of neutrals. You've got this khaki green, or yeah, it's like a camo green color, and then you've got a forest green color. Oh, yes, living. There's just a ton of things you can do with this. Like all these different tones of like purple and pink, like going down this row here. Fun. And then these are all neutrals. Again, you've got some yellows. I don't know what the rhyme or reason for the order in which they did things in this palette, really. But these are beautiful mattes, and this is a great addition to the team. You know what I mean? And it's a big ass palette, so you get a lot of colors. So how many are in here? 42 colors in this palette. So that was another thing. It was just like a lot of options, a lot of color options. And we've got, you know, the Desert Oasis has a ton of shimmers and stuff. So, you know, I just thought that was another good addition. And then number 10, and a lot of you guys might think that I'm crazy for picking this because it's just a strange palette to pick, but it is the Game of Thrones Urban Decay palette. So how many Urban Decays are there now? 1, 2, 3. This is the 3rd Urban Decay palette. This palette, it's sentimental because I loved Game of Thrones so much. But also, I don't know, I just love this palette. Like, there's a lot of fun pastel shimmers down here. You've got some warm neutrals here. There's a bronzy color. This yellow is like a shimmery, beautiful tone. You've got some cool tones. You've got these blues. This blue here is on another level. Winterfell, this is a unique color that I don't have in any other palette. It's, I don't know, what do you call this? It's like a bronzy color, I guess. It's like an icy bronze. These, I don't know, I love this palette, and I just feel like sometimes I'm like, I don't know, I want to play with you more, but also I want to have you forever. I don't know. I just love it so much. Like, I couldn't part with this palette. I just couldn't. I love me some Urban Decay, man. I have a lot of Urban Decay in my collection, and I have a lot of BH Cosmetics, and that is why the selections are skewed to those two brands. It's just because it's what I got in my collection. I will make a note that I almost did choose the ABH Amrezy. She was in this list for a while, but I pulled her out because I revisited her, and that bitch falls out all over my face, and I just can't. And it makes me so mad because every time I use the shadows without a glitter glue, just the shadows, not even the glitter, because the glitter falls out too, and that irritates me. But the other day I revisited that palette. I did a look without glitter, and the shimmer was all over my face, like shimmer shower. And it ruins your base makeup. It just, like, it's a mess. It's all over your face. Like, and I don't want that. I feel like I just have eyeshadow all over me. So I ended up pulling her out because I'm like, you know what? You're so pretty, but, like, I can't. Every single palette here, the shadows are blendable. The shadows are pigmented. They're beautiful. And they're a joy to work with. So that, coupled with the color stories and just my sheer love for whatever palettes, that was what went into the thought process of picking my If I Could Only Pick 10. So that is it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, hit the bell so you never miss when I upload a video. You can follow me on social. My handle's @GLAMLATTE. And don't forget the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, CastBox, and iHeartRadio. All those details are in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
I just wanna hold you.